Welcome back to Fighting for the Truth. Here we buy the truth and we sell it not. Today's show, I'm going to be talking about Nick Fuentes. We're going to comment on the comments that he has made and has as he's been doing quite lately on his show on Rumble called Nick J. Fuentes America First, or America First, I should say, with Nick J. Fuentes to be exact. If you don't know much about Nick Fuentes, he is a self proclaimed white nationalist. Some call him a white supremacist. He's also stated that he is a Christian nationalist. And also, I'm assuming he is still, read some comments that he may not be voting Republican anymore, but he is allegedly a Republican. He was once supposed to hook up and connect with Turning Point, Charlie Kirk. He since has moved away from that. Talks negatively about Charlie Kirk, all the great talking heads in the conservative movement. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, those type people. I've for the last few weeks have been watching some of Nick Fuentes' uh, comments and how he commentates on his show Rumble. He was banned and kicked off of YouTube, so he went to Rumble. And I do want to say that I do appreciate Rumble for being a place where people can voice their opinions and keep that platform without being censored and without being shunned. Because at the end of the day, we all have a voice, and I do believe in the First Amendment as it pertains to freedom of speech. So I want to be the first to say I'm not bashing Nick's freedom of speech, his rights, and his views, but I do want to say I believe with all my heart that Nick is somehow clouded his mind and has filled it with, in my opinion, hate against Black Americans. Now, I know that many people, including Brandon Tatum, has uh, aired some of his comments on his show, and I believe even Brandon Tatum has kind of agreed in some areas. I'm not saying fully, but in some areas where he believes that Black people have gone rogue, and Nick states that Black people really should be here in America and that we're all bad. He even states that he's afraid to walk amongst his streets in Chicago because he's afraid of being ambushed by a Black person, which I beg to differ. My question to Nick is, where exactly in Chicago do you live? Now, if you live on the South Side, you live in the hood, you should expect these things. I did see a clip today that showed Nick's house where a woman appeared to be a leftist went to his house and knocked on a door, and he allegedly, uh, according to the police, well, the report that the lady gave the police, he pepper sprayed her and pushed her down the steps. Now, that is her accounts of the events. Of course, it was not recorded, or no witnesses was there to corroborate the story. During his questioning with the police, he pretty much pled the fifth, which he could because, first of all, he was not being detained, neither was he in custody. So he did have a right to not answer any of those questions that the police had posed. And at the end of the day, he was in his own home. However, he did answer the door. And apparently, he's been getting a lot of death threats. And I can see why. People coming by his home, many people know where he lives in Chicago, been going by his house and doing things, threatening him, stating they're going to kill him, all these sorts of things. But, when you speak the rhetoric that he speaks and the hate that he speaks, you should expect backlash, death threats, and all the same, because this is the year of 2025, and we are attempting or trying to reunite and become stronger together as one country, not by one race, but one country, meaning that we all should find a way to coexist. Now, I don't know if Nick actually has been a victim at the hands of a black person, but the way he speaks, it clearly states that he has had some type of animosity towards black people. I'm not here to necessarily say that we do things right all the time. I'm not here to do that. But what I am here to talk about today is that Nick, seems to me you're putting every black person into a box. And so I want to address your comments. Uh, and you speak about being a Christian, Christian nationalist. Well, the Bible speaks in Mark 12:31 says that we should love thy neighbor as thyself. So I'm not exactly sure where the hate is coming from and what makes you appear that you are being a Christian or you are showing Christian love, because that's not what Christianity is about. But I'm going to digress there, and I want to show a little bit of this clip that Nick Fuentes recently released titled, "We Have to Be Honest about Black People." So let's play that and let's see what you think about this.
Diversity attacking white people. I see constant headlines of white people being attacked / killed / raped, and it truly enrages me that people are blind to this or just don't care. Sad world.
It is crazy, but that's when you realize how powerful the psychological manipulation is and how stupid people are. It reminds me, of like the age of consent thing. These are the dumbest people in the world, where somebody will say something like, oh, 17-year-old and a 23-year-old, that's pedophilia. And you go, no, it's obviously not. And they go, yeah, it is. The legal age is 18. Just because I had that on the mind after that other super chat. That's how powerful the super ego, like psychological conditioning of people is. If something doesn't make sense, they side with the heuristic. It doesn't matter how many times you see black people crashing out in the store, speeding down the shoulder on the highway in traffic, how many times you see them kill or steal on the nightly news. The media says, no, that's just a stereotype. And people go, that's just a stereotype. It's like they look at reality. And when reality comes into conflict with the heuristic, with the rule that they hear on TV from the authority, if these things are in tension, they side with the authority. It's insane. And that's just how stupid people are. And I think that's just how the population is distributed. I think it's always been this way. I think that society is just structured this way, where it's a small percentage of the population that is literate and can think critically and can create novel insights and ask and answer questions. Then again, it is a lot of high IQ liberals that think this. So I don't know. But the manipulation is unbelievably powerful for people to not be able to see that. It's just let's just be blunt. It's just better to have white people here than non-white people. Like, it just is. That's just obvious. Everyone knows that. We want to live in white neighborhoods. We feel safer. We know they're smarter. They're just better at stuff. That's why our countries are good. That's why theirs are shit. Okay? In Africa, their countries are shit. They're not as smart as us. They're not as developed as us. That's okay. I don't hate them for that. I don't think they're inferior. I don't think they're subhuman. They're just not as smart. I don't think Italians are as smart as Nordics. We have different kinds of, I think we're maybe more creative, maybe more artistic. I'm Italian, Mexican, and Irish. I don't think Mexicans are that smart. I'm from Southern Italy. Southern Italians are not as smart as Northern Italians. They're just not. And you understand, I'm saying that It doesn't come from a place of racial superiority or chauvinism. It doesn't come from a place of, it's not malicious. It's not resentful. It's not hateful. It's just, it is what it is. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows deep in their heart of hearts, they're not as smart as us. Black people are not as smart as white people in general. There are some black people that are smarter than some white people, but on whole, as a society, the societies there are not as smart. Now, you can debate about why. It's because of nutrition. It's about genetics. It's, you can debate and you can have your opinion. It's really not up for debate, by the way, but feel free to disagree on the causes. But that's just the state of the play. That's why those countries don't work. That's why these countries do. Germany is desirable to live in. It works. Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, these are the happiest, most developed, most egalitarian, most tolerant, most peaceful. These are the best places to live. And it's because of the people. It's because the people create those societies. It's not because of what colony did Norway have? What vast empire built on slavery did Norway and Finland have? Did Poland have? They didn't. These countries are better because the people are smarter and it's more desirable. And I understand why people might not want to say that out loud. I understand why it might make people uncomfortable. They might not want to say it in mixed company. I can see how that offends people. It hurts people's feelings. But how can you not just know that that's true? How do you live on this planet and just look around and not just get it? How do you not even deal with them and get it? I mean, when you see these black people fighting in Waffle House, they're dancing at graduation, taking their shoes off, throwing their caps in the air. When you see they don't understand like a refund policy at an airline, it's like these people, like, and when I say these people, like these particular people that are in those situations, they're just dumb. They're just dumb. They're not smart. I don't care what anybody says. If you walk into a Waffle House with your pants around your ankles and you're yelling incoherently and you're throwing your weave off and punching someone in the face and throwing a plate of eggs at somebody in the face, and someone's recording and going, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. You're an idiot. Like, you're not smart. That's just what an idiot would do. Like, you're an idiot. And people that go to graduation and go, all right, I graduated, shit. Like, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. And if you are at the airport and for whatever reason it doesn't work out, they say, I'm sorry, sir, you missed your flight. And you say, what you mean? What you mean? Like, you're an idiot. Okay? And I'm not saying all black people are idiots. Not saying all of them are idiots, but like that behavior, like, let's just call it what it is. That's not smart behavior. Smart people don't do that. Maybe they have a bad day. Maybe a smart person crashes out once in a while. Smart people are not habitually crashing out in the lowest rent fast food chains and in the most public free settings in the comments. They're just not doing that. White people, smart people don't spell words in English phonetically. Maybe if you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. It's like pidgin English. So, like, I don't know how you don't encounter that and just kind of instantly know what it is, which is like, oh, I need to be careful around this person because they don't have self-control. They don't have impulse control. They're not going to understand what I am saying to them. They don't understand that to be in a society, you have to play by the rules. And so I don't know how, and look, I'm just being blunt, and a lot of people think this way. No one will say it, but it's just true. And That's how people feel, and it happens to be the way it is. I don't know how any man, for women, I get why women don't think this way, because women are idiots. Women can be very intelligent, but women are suckers. I've said it before, women are suckers. Women are so credulous, and they're just not logical. If something makes them feel bad, they won't believe it. Oh, well, don't you think that's kind of sad? Well, I feel bad for them. Well, be that as it may. That's the truth. So women are idiots. But as a man, I don't understand how a white man could not understand the situation. And even like white men that have been victimized by diversity, they still don't get it. Like when I was with Ye and Top 5, the rapper in Spain, Top 5 was wearing an ankle monitor because he got off for a triple homicide. And when he got close to me, there was a scissors in front of me. I moved the scissors out of reach instinctually, because I said, I don't feel comfortable with someone that is a violent criminal or an accused criminal being around me with a pointy object. I just don't. And people said that's racist. People said that was racist for me to do that. And I saw on one of the subreddits, somebody said, well, I can understand why someone might feel that way because I got mugged by black people. And now whenever I'm around them, I do just kind of look over my shoulder. And the guy said, but I'm entitled to feel that way because I can't help it because of my experience. Nick is doing it because he's a racist, because he's a piece of shit and a bad person. That's the level of cognitive dissonance. And if you believe that, you're an idiot. So it's just, you know how it is. You know how frustrating it is. Once you see it.
So what you see there is a lot, right? That's why I wanted you to watch the entire video, most of it at least. Question to Nick is, if you are so afraid of black people, why are you hanging out with black people? Let alone a murderer of a triple homicide. And then you travel all the way to Spain, out of all places. I mean, come on, let's be real. You know, I had a coworker ask me about my opinion of Nick, and when he showed me a video that I hadn't yet seen, I watched the entire video, Dear Black People, and Brandon Tatum and a few others. They actually did a reaction video on it, and I watched it, and it is exactly what Nick is trying to accomplish. He's getting reactions. I believe he's trying to gain more clout, and that's one of the reasons why he is no longer, or really ever, joined Charlie Kirk at Turning Point, because we don't believe in this type of speech or behavior. We don't condone it. But those are my questions to Nick. Nick, I would love to have you on the show. We can actually sit down and talk about it. But at the end of the day, this is where I'm at with it. If you're such afraid of black people, why are you living amongst black people? If you believe all of us are ignorant and that we don't know how to use proper English, not all black people graduate from high school and throw a party. I know that when I graduated, we didn't have that type of atmosphere going on when we graduated on that particular day in question. Our ceremony was very much professional. It was very much an exciting time, but we held our composure. So what you're saying now, we're in a different age, and I get that. Social media brings people to the table so that they can get clicks and likes. I get all that. But at the end of the day, then you talk about Waffle House. You talk about, the fights that you see that happens on Waffle House. Yes, people record it, or either fights that take place anywhere involving black people. Airports. I work at the airport, so I can tell you that that is not what is going on. There's not a mania going on at the ticket counter or at the gate. Those instances are separated, a few and apart. It's not a black thing. It is a mindset thing. It's an ignorant thing. But for you to put all of us in one box, I disagree with that. Neither here nor there. So I want to be honest to Nick, as he states we should be honest about black people. I want to be honest that you are not being 100% genuine. You're not being 100% correct in your statements. Just like we have bad cops, bad attorneys, bad judges, does not loop the whole profession. And I say to you, it does not loop in the whole race. There are tons of great black people out there. You apparently have not been amongst them. And I know this helps you get your ratings and your subscribers. And what it really brings out in people, it shows their true character. You know, Maya Angelou stated when somebody show you who they are the first time, believe them. You don't need 20 times after to believe who they are. You can believe the first time. And so what we see is people who are uplifting your show. And again, First Amendment gives you the right to free speech. But it appears to me that you're bringing out all the anti-Christians, the anti-Americans, the folks who are really saying, you know, there's only one race, and that's the white race, and we don't believe that. And I have many white friends who do not believe the rhetoric that you are pushing out. Again, we thank Rumble for being able to provide a space for you to express yourself, but you got to be genuine when you're doing that. And I don't believe, sir, that you are doing that. I believe that you are using your platform to gain access to a different type of viewership. And so what we say to you is this: get you some new friends, get you some new people you're hanging around, because apparently the folks that you are hanging around are not good for you. And if you are afraid to be around black people, I say this: it's possible that you ought to take your passport and move out of this country, because we, along with all other races, are here to stay. And until the mindset is changed, you will always think the way that you're thinking. And I hope that you're kidding around. I hope that you're not serious, because you are an intelligent guy, but your comments make you ignorant to the core of it. And as a conservative, as an American, as a Christian, as a black man, I have to call it out, because as we say on this show, we're fighting for the truth. When you buy the truth, you won't sell it. And many may ask, what exactly does that mean? It means when you know the truth, you take heed to it. You don't suppress it. You don't spout the opposite. You tell the truth and you let the chips fall where they may. And that's what I'm doing on Fighting for the Truth. But I needed to address Nick's comments. I've been waiting to do this, and I may do another part to this. We'll see how things progress. We'll see what the comments are like. We'll see if people want to hear more about this. And I'm not really trying to promote Nick, but what I'm trying to promote is the people and the mindsets that are still out there. And yes, there are ignorant black people, just as there's ignorant whites, Hispanics. There are all types. It's a culture thing. It's a way you were raised type of thing. But mostly it is self-discipline. You got to have self-discipline. You got to have good morals and ethics. So that's why you see the things that you see that come from some black people. Riding on the left shoulder of the road is not a black thing. Skipping and hopping in and out of traffic is not a black thing. Fighting at Waffle House is not a black thing. Recording fights is not a black thing. Fighting at the airports is not a black thing. It is an ignorant thing. And that's just where it lies. That is just where it lies. Well, listen, I had enough. You probably had enough. I hope now we have a better understanding as who Nick Fuentes is portraying to be. And as I always will do, we'll speak out, we'll speak up, we'll tell the truth. And until next time, this is Fighting for the Truth. And I want you to do me a favor. Buy the truth, and when you buy it, sell it not. And we'll do it again